to another video from Tech and Gaming Reviews. We actually have a bit to discuss, so I'm gonna right now start my intro and we'll officially get this video on the road. But all I can say is this is not going to be a pretty one. Literally, this is not going to be a pretty video at all. So, let's get this video started. Let's get it on the road. So, as you know, we are big into electronics, especially when it comes to TVs, because as you can see behind me, we got a few TVs right there, and we're going to be talking about somebody that we have talked about a lot through last year of 2022 on this channel. We're literally going to be talking about who you can expect, who it's going to be. Yes, and you can honestly tell from the thumbnail or from the title of the video. Yeah, we're going to be talking about Quantum TV once yet again. Okay, I have watched some of his videos where he's talking about his TV takes and reviews on some TVs like the Samsung S95B, the Sony A95K, the Sony X90K, the Sony X90J, and the Samsung Q80B. You know, the list just goes on and on and on. But however, he clearly, from most of his videos that I've watched, it's not just one brand over all the others. He's done it with LG, he's done it with especially Sony, he's also done it with Samsung, and then of course Vizio. The top 4 popular brands that have been in the TV market for a long time: Vizio, LG, Sony, and Samsung. Now Hisense and TCL, they're actually now becoming up there with them, even though they're still relatively like new TV company out there. Like, they've not been around as long as the other 4, but with their TVs on how good that they're looking and the processes and the performance of them, they're definitely are almost right on par with the other 4 brands. But even Hisense, this guy has not said nothing but negative things. So I've watched a lot of his videos, okay? All I hear on his videos is straight up nothing but mostly negative things with almost any TV that he's, done reviews on. He's talked crap about Samsung, saying they're horrible with, dirty screen effect this and dirty screen effect that. But what else is funny is I got a Samsung Q70T that's literally in my other bedroom right now. I have had this TV for already about to be coming up to 3 years. I don't know why I had 4, but 3 years. And yes, I understand it's not a full array local dimming TV, it's an edge-lit, but there's no dirty screen effect on my unit. Now, my QN90A, that is one of these few TVs right behind me, that is about to be getting replaced probably tomorrow or Thursday with a QN90B, so be sure, like I've mentioned on my previous videos, be sure to stay tuned in for that video when we do a review of our QN90B whenever we get it. But our QN90A, before I noticed the dots on my screen, it had just barely a little dirty screen effect, but nothing too severe. And I mean, that's just how it is with LCD based TVs. If you don't go with an OLED, or whatever. If it's an LCD, LED TV, that's what you're going to have to expect, is you have to worry about panel lottery. So you may get good and get lucky, and the TV may be solid, or you might just get still lucky with just a very, very tiny bit that you can't even tell a difference when you're, watching the TV or playing games or, having content being displayed on the TV like that. Like, you ain't going to honestly tell the difference. Straight up, you're not going to be able to tell if it's just a very little bit. And then, the one thing I absolutely hate about this guy is the crap that he talks about Sony TVs. Now, I personally think when it comes to all brands, including like the LG OLED TVs and our Samsung S95B QD OLED that is so freaking incredible, I still think the Sony is king when it comes to their mid to high range LCD TVs like their X90 series. Like, we have 3 of their latest X90 series TVs. We have the X900H, we have the X90J, and then just recently we got the X90K, which is their latest one. They're all so freaking good when it comes to colors, contrast, and freaking gaming with input lag as low as 18 milliseconds down to all the way to 7 milliseconds. Like, yes, I understand that like LG and Samsung have slightly better input lag, lower than that, but like 5, 6, 7 milliseconds more, you're really not going to tell a difference at all. Literally 7 milliseconds, there's no difference at all, because you're just immediately going to move as soon as you press the button. So no matter what it is, the input lag is still quite good. But what Quantum TV says, okay, he literally says that the Sony TVs are always oversaturated, which I don't believe that at all, but who even cares about saturation or oversaturation? I'm not saying that all of you do. I know that there's some, but when it comes to like people that just like to play video games or just want a TV that looks good to watch their TV shows and movies, you're going to be very, very pleased with those Sony TVs. Now, granted, the X900H and the X90J are no longer getting manufactured anymore, but the X90K and most likely going forward, the TVs are just going to keep either staying similar or they're going to keep getting better in picture quality, which that's what's going on with the X90K, is it's actually gotten better. You're getting the new XR processor, also getting the full color gamut that you won't get with the X90J that you did get on the X900H, and you're getting higher peak brightness, not too much brighter, but still enough to tell that it's a slightly bit more brighter than the previous 2 models. So no matter what the odds are, people don't care about saturation as much. We just want the TVs for gaming, so we have different presets and different whatever. And the Sony X90J is still a perfect TV. Even though the color gamut is low, the colors are still good. They look rich, they look vibrant, and the TVs still have great local dimming. All 3 of them. Whereas the Sony X90J does have the slight edge of better local dimming than the other 2. But from ratings.com, they're still in the green. The X900H and the X90K are still in the green with good local dimming. So, Sony TVs, especially their X90 series and their X95 and even the X80 series, like, people don't care. Like, the picture quality that they get, they're paying a low minimum price for a TV that is almost close to an OLED level. Like, Sony is really... Sony TVs are fire. Sony is really killing it with their TVs, where they're having so much good color gamut, deep saturated colors, and good local dimming that it's almost close to an OLED level. But what makes it even better is the higher peak brightness. So they're getting almost an OLED TV that has better higher peak brightness and that can last longer and not have the risk of potential burn-in for playing the same content for hours upon weeks in. So clearly they're getting a much better deal. They're getting a much better picture quality that has better brightness that can help, and they're getting a TV that will last them a longevity in the future. But that's not all. He has also stated and said crappy things, especially about Vizio. The Vizio P-Series Quantum, not the Quantum X, but the Vizio P-Series Quantum, which we have the 2020 model, we don't have the 2021 model, and the Vizio P-Series Quantum, okay, does have some dirty screen effect, but with real-world usage, like playing video games and watching content, you're not going to tell the difference at all. You're not going to tell it there. Unless the TV is straight one color, then you will see the difference. You will notice that there are spots that are brighter and dimmer, but in real-world usage, like you are watching your TV or you're playing your video games, it's unnoticeable. The TV looks completely solid. And that is a brand that does have a lot of dirty screen effect that I will mention. But it's unnoticeable when you're watching content or playing content like such as video games on it. It's unnoticeable. So Quantum TV, I know we've discussed him multiple times on this channel, and we're going to keep doing it with the way that he does things. He has always had nothing but negative things to say about the TVs, especially Sony. He says Sony is the worst brand because they're always oversaturated, but I personally think, like we mentioned, I think Sony's the best brand out there because they always make the best affordable picture quality, and it's always quite good. And even when it comes to Sony's processor, Sony does have the best processor out of all the other TV brands out there that help making your TV look crystal clear. Like, if you're playing games at like 4K, like especially on your Xbox Series X or PlayStation 5 or high-end gaming PC, or even the PlayStation 4 Pro or Xbox One X, your games are going to look very, very clean, like insanely sharp. Like, we're talking about almost to like 8K resolution. That's how good that the Sony TVs are, especially with Sony's processing that they put in their TVs. LG's and Samsung's are still quite good, but they're not too far off from Sony. You're still going to get a clean picture. You're still going to get good colors. Now, LG, on the other hand, has been making IPS panels, but I don't think they're making much of the NanoCell TVs anymore. But their OLED TVs are absolutely freaking killers. The LG OLED series, like the C series, like the C10, and last year's C1 that we currently have, and then even the C2, and it's supposed to get better even with the C3 and G3 coming out later this year. And he's also said that LG is not a good brand. Like, what I don't understand with this guy is, okay, you have always nothing but negative things to say majority of the time when you review these TVs. So let me ask you this. Then how are you a TV reviewer if you always got nothing but most of the time on your videos you have nothing but negative things to say? Like, then why review TVs if you're only just going to say crap about them? That doesn't make any sense. If you're just going to say crap about the TVs and just be like, oh, Samsung's not a good brand because they have a lot of dirty screen effect, Sony TVs always have oversaturation, blah blah blah, and they're just not good, their motions, then why do you even review TVs if you have nothing but negative things to say? Now, granted, all the TVs ones we have, they're not perfect, but they're nowhere near like what Quantum TV says. Like, straight up, they are nowhere near as bad as Quantum TV is making them out to be. Like, I just watched another one of his videos just from a year ago that he talked about the X90J had bad motion, but my X90J is playing perfectly fine. And I just had it for a whole year yesterday. So today I've had it 1 year and 1 day. And you know something? It is still going strong. It is still rocking. It is still smooth. The gameplay experience on it is still quite solid. And, like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, if you always have nothing but negative things to say about all the TVs, like you've said, Quantum TV, like Samsung always having DSE, and Sony always having oversaturation, and the Vizio P-Series Quantum always having, like, you know, not really good two colors that are so good colors that blah blah blah, that, you know, then why do you even freaking review TVs? Is my concern. If you always got something bad most of the time to say about the TVs, and you recommend your audience to not buy them, then you're telling them to never buy a TV, is what you're trying to say. But if you are in the market for a new TV, I'm going to let you know this. If you are subscribed to his channel too, and you're subscribed to mine, I wouldn't listen to what Quantum TV says about any of the TVs, except maybe like one or two little things. He'll be right on some, but don't listen to him majority of the time, because he's saying not to buy the X90J from last year when the X90J first came out. He recommended people to not buy it, but we're having perfectly incredible luck with ours. Ours is perfectly great. Colors, yeah, may not be as wide color gamut like the 900H and the X90K have, but it's only like a 1% below of what a TV is supposed to be. The specs for the TV are supposed to have to consider a wide color gamut, but no matter what, the colors are still good. But if you are really looking for a TV, Sony definitely does make some really good, makes really good picture quality. Like, you will be satisfied if you want to get a TV close to an OLED picture, but also don't want to have to pay that $2,000 or $3,000, you know, price tag for an OLED series, and you want to get like a 50 or 65 inch that's still pretty decent big size. Sony's definitely got you covered when it comes to that, and has really good local dimming that helps and further improve the contrast, so that way you ain't going to see as much blooming, and you may not even be able to tell the blooming is even there, because you might be sitting so far back and the local dimming will be turned on, so it's going to help make it look like an OLED. So yeah, if you're on the market for a new TV, definitely look at the Sonys, because Sony definitely does make the cleanest picture, cleanest panel, and also has really good local dimming than most other brands out there. And you will get some tiny bit of blooming, but they're still going to look good, like almost OLED levels. And then Samsung is another great brand, especially if you're into gaming. Gaming also on the Sonys are still quite good too, but Samsung definitely is a little bit more superior. And if you want a good Samsung TV, Samsung definitely has insanely low input lag, and also has variable refresh rate on most of their TVs, and just the gaming experience is just really quite good, especially on the X80B and especially the Neo QLED lineup, which I highly recommend getting the Neo QLED lineup, either the QN85B or possibly the one that we're supposed to be getting here soon, either the QN90B. But then the S95B, that is an OLED. If you want to go for a little bit of high price, the Samsung S95B will also be a great option, and it will blow you away. So honestly, I just wouldn't listen to Quantum TV reviews on TVs anymore, because I've watched a good bit of his videos, like at least quite several of his videos, and I've never heard nothing but mostly negatives and maybe like one or two positives on his reviews, and most of the time I have never heard nothing but negatives on Sony and especially Samsung TVs from him, so I just wouldn't even listen to him no more. If you want to get a Sony TV, mid-high range Sony TV like the X90 series, go right ahead, because you won't be disappointed. Or if you want to get a Samsung, go right ahead. So don't listen to his reviews on him, because he clearly does not know nothing from a hole in his ass. This is Tech and Gaming Reviews. Hope you all enjoyed this video. If you guys could smack that like button, and also be sure to subscribe if you are new to this channel, and be sure to leave us your thoughts down in the comment section down below if you honestly watched Quantum TV's reviews, and if you agree that his reviews are just so bad that he has horrible takes on TVs just in general. So just leave us your thoughts down in the comment section down below of his takes on his TV reviews and whatnot, and if you think that, you know, he just has a bad reception of reviewing TVs. So yeah, just leave us your thoughts down in the comment section down below. Also be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications so you'll be notified with every new video we upload going forward, and be sure to stay tuned in for our QN90B Samsung 65-inch TV that we're going to be reviewing whenever they bring the new unit and they come grab our old unit that's right behind us. So this is Tech and Gaming Reviews. Hope y'all enjoyed it, and peace.